Hi everybody, this is Charlie from the Care Association, and today I'm very happy to be on site at Boppa's home with Bethann Meyer and Acelia Garcia. Now, let me ask you a question. When a person comes to your home, what do you tell them? Describe your place.
Well, I actually kind of tell them the story, the way everything got started. My father was a police officer in Lima, Ohio, and I'm originally from Ohio, and I've just been down in Florida in the Palm Bay area for about 5 years now. And my mother and I stayed home and took care of this gentleman that had Alzheimer's for 12 years. And it was a very, very difficult journey. And as we became more advanced in his illness, there was a need to find a place for my father that he could belong, where it was family, where somebody could love him and care for him. Because what we found out in larger facilities, unfortunately, my father has some behavior problems. So the first thing that they want to do with somebody like that is to sedate them. And we have a big mission of giving people a quality of life, and we'll let the illness run its course as far as quantity, but the quality is so important. So actually, I was trying to get this place open for my father. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. He was in one small care home that was absolutely fabulous, and another small care home that unfortunately wasn't as good. And actually, the name Boppa's home came from my son. He used to call my dad Boppa, which I had worked with a Russian nurse, which told me that it meant father in Russian. So father's home, so you can perceive it as a physical father's home or the heavenly father's home as well. And the reason that I started this is I'm actually a nurse, an RN, a BSN, and my assistant manager, Arcelia, is an LPN. And so we're very, very proud of that fact and very proud of the quality of care that we can give people. Most of our caregivers here are actually hospital-based caregivers, and this is a second job for them. So we enjoy having all that expertise, which is monumental to the residents as well as to their families, because our goal is for people to have the best quality of life that they can have. But the need for this came out of my father. My mother and I stayed home for 12 years and took care of my father, who was a police officer, who I was used to seeing a very strong, dominant man, which unfortunately with this disease does some tragic things for families to go through, as well as for the individual itself. And I had mentioned that we have a limited nursing service license. And what's so nice for somebody that's coming in, what that means to them, is that we can also administer medication as well. So if you have brittle diabetics that need some insulin, or if you have people that have cast and splints, special dressing changes and things like that, we can accommodate them as well.
So full service, yeah.
It is. It is.
You know, when I think you have spent a lot of time in the big institutions, and how do you? What can you say about your place about aging in place?
It's wonderful, because with a small home, so many of these people, they come in and they feel like it's their house, and we actually become their family in many ways. And we definitely feel that when we look at the people that work for us, we wouldn't leave anybody here that we wouldn't leave our own parents with. And we want to love and treat everybody just as we would our own parents. And that's what's nice, is they have their own room, but then they have a common area too that they can come and meet and do activities or sing or whatever thing that they're interested in. But it's a home type of feeling for them. So you don't see all the medical equipment or those things that may actually make people realize that they're ill or cause more anxiety to them.
Now let me ask you a question, Bethann. How do you describe your business?
We're actually a small residential assisted living, and we have a total of 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. 3 of those bedrooms are private, and then I have 1 semi-private room. What's nice is we're like a home, and actually that's why we named it Boppa's Home. It's not a house, but it's a home with lots of love and lots of hugs and kisses.
Arcelia, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You're the manager here, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
What do you do over here?
Well, I take care of various things. I do caregiving. I also come in and do payroll and do the regular office stuff and try to, with the owner, go out and market our home. I enjoy, the most part that I enjoy is being able to come in here and give a lot of hugs and kisses. I love to give hugs and kisses, and I love our residents. Sometimes I question and I say to myself, it's a job, but deep down inside, they become part of you. They become who you are, and you take something from every single person that you meet and their stories, and you grow, and I feel that I have grown so much in 6 months that I've been here, and they have touched my life in different aspects and in different ways, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
You learn a lot from them.
Yes, I do.
And that love that you give them, they know, right?
They know.
That feeling,
they
you can sense it.
They know. They know. And when they're ready to take their journey to the not to the unknown, but to a better place, I would call it. We're here, and they're not by themselves. We're with them 24 hours if we have to be here. But that's what it grows in us to do. It's not because it's a job. It's because they become part of us. And we don't want our families to be by themselves when they take that journey. So we tend to accommodate and be here with them, and they become us. And I bring my grandson in, and they love him, and he gives a lot of hugs and kisses and plays ball. So it's a family. It's a second home. More than a job.
Can you tell me a little bit about your meal plan?
Yeah, actually we do have a registered dietitian that kind of gives us a guide to use so that we can make sure that we're meeting the caloric needs of different residents, because many times different residents will have different things that they need. Maybe it's a low sodium diet or a diabetic diet or something like that. But what's nice is we try to cook like a family style and have them come to the table together. Now the other thing that's really nice with small homes, we're very aware everybody has their own style of living, and some people don't get up at 8 o'clock and come to the breakfast table. Some people don't get up until 10 or 11. So what's nice with that and being a small home, then that way if they want to get up at 10 and 11 and they don't want maybe a scrambled egg for breakfast, they can go ahead and have oatmeal or something of that kind and kind of tailor it to the individual and their needs, but also keeping with the nutritional and caloric needs that we need to take care of.
That's great. So you cater to the desires and the needs.
Absolutely. It's all about finding out about these residents and the stories and their lives and their things to share. What makes that person tick? What does that person like to do? I mean, it's very easy to even have an activity calendar that says that we play bingo at this time or we do music therapy at this time. Well, if you're not interested in that, and Charlie, you're not going to come do that with us. So we need to find out about you and what makes you tick and what you enjoy doing. So instead of coming to bingo, if you want to go outside for a walk, you can go outside for a walk.
That's really nice. How about pricing? Can you tell me a little bit about pricing?
We try and keep a base price. Of course, your private rooms are a little bit more expensive than your semi-private. The one thing that we do offer is, with the assisted living, is a limited nursing service. So I actually bring everybody in as if they are on a limited nursing service, because we are nurses here. That way you have a nurse on site daily that is here to look at you and do a head-to-toe assessment on that individual and see if there's any change or anything that we need to act on. With your limited nursing service, we also chart a monthly nursing assessment as well. Some of the places that you'll find, depending upon the needs that somebody has, if they need their linens washed a little bit more, or if they need finger sticks, or if they need special things, all that adds up in the price of their base cost. And I don't like to play that game. I like to give you the initial price across the board so that does not change for the family.
Your customers don't build, or the cost won't increase as they go along. You can try to keep everything flat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we definitely feel that we're very approachable, and we encourage the family to be very active and say, what do you want to see us do with your loved one, or what do they like, or if for any reason maybe you're not happy about this, please come to us, talk to us, let's discuss what you want to see happen as well.
Yeah, so it's truly kind of a family concept with everybody's involved, not only the resident but the family itself,
Absolutely.
and all becomes a part of the home then. Do you think that you could offer this level of care in a big institution and
No.
get that same experience?
Not really. In the smaller homes, I think it's more personalized, and like I said, they become part of you. They become part of your everyday, like your children do at home, like your husband or your wife or your grandkids. They become a part of you, and I feel that here they find. All of our caregivers are welcome to bring their children in to joy time, story time, read with them, talk with them, color, and they all seem to enjoy that, do crafts. They love seeing kids. They love giving hugs and kisses. And I think that that's a special thing when you have the smaller homes that you don't find in the bigger homes. Before I took care of my father also, and the last year of his life was very difficult, trying to maintain a house and trying to work and trying to take care of him. And I felt that he would be better off in a nursing home in the sense of just because I couldn't be there and I had to provide for my kids at that time and it hurt me the most because I was the caregiver. I was the one that had him with me, and to know that I couldn't be there those 24 hours really, really, really hurt. But I found a facility that was good with him, and he tended to, and they really cared for him the way I wanted him to be cared for. And in the last couple of months, I was probably lived there more than I lived at home. Mm-hmm. But it was a journey and it was an experience. But if I had it to do it again, I would have found out about a residential home better. Mm-hmm. I think it's lack of knowing and lack of education, of educating yourself of where to place your family member.
Yeah, you really hit on something there, because I think it's such a difficult decision for families to place somebody someplace. And that's all the more reason they should actually choose a small home, because then you do get that personalized care, and we're available 24/7. They're welcome to come anytime, because guess what, we're open 24/7. And that's the other thing that we do, which I think is huge for the residents, because when it's time for them to take that journey, they can come in and be beside them, and we can help them, and we can hold their hand and let them know that it's okay to go. That's the kindest gift that we can give our loved ones. And it's such a wonderful experience that somebody allows you to share that journey. And it's a wonderful experience to be able to help a family through that journey. The hardest thing that I learned with my dad is at some point I had to stop being a nurse, and I had to be the daughter. And sometimes the daughter is not meant to take care of mom or dad. You need to let somebody else do that.
And why is that?
Just because it's just very, very difficult to be there 24/7 to care for your loved one as they get older. And so if you can find a small community that has the skill, that has the compassion, and also too, what's nice is we do give 24-hour care. Okay, but we have a new face coming into these residents like every 8 to 12 hours. So we run either 3 8-hour shifts or 2 12-hour shifts, and our caregivers are up all night. So when the family member is absolutely exhausted at home and you can't really run anymore and you don't have it to give, what's nice with these small homes, guess what? You got a new fresh caregiver coming in saying, what can I do? How can I help you? What do you need? That's
a good way to look at it. Did you also, when you said it was hard as a daughter, was it because when you see your loved one going down like that, it's hard to be a daughter and a caregiver? Mm-hmm. It's hard to interchange those roles because you get so emotionally involved. It's your family member.
As a nurse, you have the I want to save.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to save them, and it's harder because they're part of you. They're part of your family.
Mm-hmm.
So, and sometimes you need that person to say, it's okay to be the daughter, and it's okay to hold his hand.
And I can see why it would be important also to find a good small home to place your loved one in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's what's nice too, is when you have a small home like that, once again, it's the home atmosphere.
Well, I can tell that you two are going to be very, very successful in this business because your heart shows.
We're very
Comes right out,
compassionate,
Yes.
and she about made me cry.
And before we leave, I'd like to say one thing is that, maybe you want to choose that big institution and spend time there. But remember, when they slow down, you have an option. They don't have to go to a nursing home. They can come to a home like this here and have quality care. Thanks for spending time with us, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.